2 more episodes, people. 2 more episodes. Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Asha Media TV. My name is Asha, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my channel where I like to watch and react and review a variety of stuff related to sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books. So in today's video, I am going to be watching episode 9 of the first season of Upload, Amazon original comedy sci-fi show. I'm super excited because that's, one episode down, one episode to go till the finale, and hopefully a lot of my questions will be answered. A lot of my criticism will be relieved. Well, let's hope. But before I go pressing play on this episode, I want to quickly just give you some heads up on basic things, especially if you're new here to my channel, so don't skip ahead. Number 1, this is a spoiler reaction and spoiler review. So if you have not seen any episodes of Upload thus far, up until episode 9, because that's where I'm at, then just know you've been warned that there are spoilers ahead. And second, just in case you've come across my older videos where I was showing video footage or clips of the actual episode, I no longer upload those kinds of reactions here on YouTube. Instead, I offer a watch-along process where you can get access to the episode on your end. While I have it on my end, we sync up using my visual and vocal cues, and we watch the episode together. However, I'm very considerate of those of you who prefer a more stress-free alternative reaction with bonus content. So for more information about how to access that reaction, check out the information in the description box below. Alright, so the basics are covered with any newbies possibly watching, and so let's get into this episode. So it's episode 9, it's called Update Eve. I am going to now prep myself to press play. So let's go. Let's go watch it. Hello again. So if you're new here, listen up for a little bit. I'm just going to quickly give you an overview as to how my reaction watch-along process works. And of course, if you're not new, skip ahead. I will see you at the countdown or at the review, wherever. Okay, newbie, listen up. So I am streaming from Amazon Prime Video because it's an Amazon original. I line up at 00000. I don't skip whatever recap or intro that may come upon the screen. I like that stuff. And you'll see on the screen a visual cue as well as my vocal cue when I press play, pause, or rewind. Now, I tend to pause for 3 specific reasons. Number 1, buffering, lagging issues, which is not much of a problem with Amazon these days, so that's pretty good. And number 2 is I want to rewind back to a part in the scene that I missed or that I want to just check back on. And number 3, I want to have somewhat of a commentary moment, a tete-a-tete with you, my viewer, especially if it's a very mind-blowing scene, or it's information that I just need to kind of blurt out at that moment, otherwise I'll forget it during my review takeaway moment for the episode. Sounds pretty easy? It is. However, as a reminder, I do offer a more stress-free alternative reaction. Information in the description box below. Okay, so we are counting down to play. 3, 2, 1, play. Freond. Everyone deserves to live forever. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna pause. I'm at 0051, 51 seconds. I'm having like a moment of like, what the fuck? Did I just really see this? Are all these people lined up to upload to a, somewhat of a virtual reality, not somewhat, a virtual type of reality, to leave the physical world because it's better and they can live forever? I know it sounds simplistic and I feel kind of silly, but I just need to see this again. Okay, so I went back 10 seconds. I'm at 4:41 seconds. For pennies, your digital afterlife. And it said no money down. I saw that part. Okay, I'm going to go back another 20 seconds. 30. 40. Okay, let's just end it there. I'm very much perplexed by this. I think it's because I just can't believe it. Life would be that bad in the physical world that you'd want to live in the virtual world for the rest of your life. She's bringing her baby. So that baby's going to stay a baby the whole time in that virtual world? I know the exact term from last episode is not virtual. It's a more techie word, but I just can't remember it at the moment. But you know what I'm referring to. I'm referring to these alternative realities. This digital reality. We'll go with that. Huh. Wow, okay. It's it's a lot. It's a lot for me. Process really what they're saying as a message with this story narrative, with these people making this choice. Willingly. Okay. I'll save a lot of what I'm thinking for the review part anyway. My apologies. Let's go on. I'm at 11 seconds and I'm going to count down to play. 3, 2, 1, play. Build it all yourself. Scan for no money down. Yeah, Nathan's idea. That guacamole looks yummy. Hmm. Okay, that is the most reasonable, normal aspect of Luke I've ever seen thus far. He gained a point. He gained a point. Wow, okay. Oh. The people behind you could see you do that. The guy behind her just saw that. All right, so they gotta get them all asleep. That's weird. Uh. Wow. She's not that dumb, Nora. Mm-hmm. And call Byron. So Byron's available. Byron's busy. Wow. That's a quick pickup. Jesus Christ. Mm. I wouldn't tell him that that's something I would do. Mhm. Under the circumstances, she might as well. You fucked me. This bastard. All right, pausing before I see anything else. 6 minutes, 54 seconds. All right, I forgot to mention, prior to getting to this point of pressing play, that I actually went back and watched episode 1 to see if I interpret something different with the way Jamie was acting at that time. And I totally did. I totally saw possibly a different version of what their relationship was like. So, starting with the first episode, so obviously, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry. I meant the first scene where I was like, huh, that's not how I interpreted it the first time. And that is when Nathan's in the car. Actually, you know what? Yes. Sorry. I apologize. I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, yes, that is it. So Nathan's in the car and he's talking to Jamie, and Jamie's like ready to do something with their work. And Nathan like really dismisses him kind of rudely. He's like, oh, I want to go do something else. And he just kind of hangs up on him. And I realized, wow, Nathan was probably very, very rude, probably very not too serious the way he should have been. And I wouldn't be surprised that they had a very, not the best relationship according to Jamie, but in Nathan's point of view, because he was, very narcissistic, very almost blind to the realities of how maybe of a douche he kind of was in a way to some degree. So that was one thing that I noticed a little bit there. And then the second thing was that when Jamie arrives for Nathan's Thanksgiving home dinner, he actually was super shocked to see Ingrid, and he even like questioned Nathan, like, why is she here? Now, on the first watch, of course, you're just like, okay, this is a concerned friend, because according to what Jamie says to him, Nathan didn't seem all that interested in Ingrid. He didn't find her that much of an appealing person. So he was so surprised to see her there. And then he was even telling Nathan, if you invited her to Thanksgiving dinner, she's going to expect like a commitment. But now looking back at that scene the second time, and then now knowing that Ingrid and him had a little, some intimate moments, put it more or less, it makes me now think that him and Ingrid were kind of doing stuff behind Nathan's back at that point, and he probably didn't mind it because he thought Nathan wasn't serious about her until he sees her at the Thanksgiving dinner, and then he's like, oh my God, what the F, right? So the point I'm getting at is that now I'm understanding that the way Jamie saw Nathan in terms of their friendship was definitely not the way Nathan viewed it. And I wouldn't be surprised if his choices to, kind of sign Nathan off was mainly because to him, he was like, you weren't the best friend that you thought you were. And I wanted to, do this project, and you didn't want to do it my way, yada, yada, yada. And then likely he took up on the investment of whoever was giving an offer that Nathan didn't want to do. Something along those lines. That's that. I just wanted to make that clear that I'm aware of that difference in attitude now. That could explain now why Jamie was doing what he was doing. Let's continue. So I'm at 6, 5, 4. Counting down to play. 3, 2, 1, play. Now, well, I thought they were going to have something there. Why do you call it pigs in a blanket? Is that what those are called? Honestly, to me, they're hot dog in a bun. Rolled up hot dogs. Ah, no. I'm glad she doesn't answer. That's exactly what I would do too. I am not going to lie to you and say you look good when you don't. Okay. Someone's excited. All right. You better find that egg, Nathan. Hmm. All right. Good for you, Luke. That's nice of you. Before he died or after, though? Really? So guilty he didn't show up to his funeral. No. You're too forgiving, Nathan. No. Oh. Oh. She's on the toilet. That's a sweet ass bathroom, though. Mm-hmm. Okay. She looks great. Ah, Nora. No, talk, bitch! You piece of shit. Did he find it? She's giving you a hint, Luke. What the fuck does Ingrid know? Now that's all I have on my mind. I don't even care about this. Unless it leads to, obviously, what I want to know. I am being an idiot right now, I know. Oh. It's worth a try. Alright, just hang on, buddy. That's cute, though, yeah. That is cute. If she gets caught. What's that? Oh, that is cool. Well, better. Well, no. I was going to say, maybe not the right time. All right. Someone's going to walk in on her, though. Listen, Luke. Come on, Luke. He can't be that dumb. That was very much like her telling you. I knew he was going to say that. Your maid. Okay. I have to go and rewind that. I need to hear that again. I'm at 1813. All right, going back 30 seconds should do. I'm at 1743, counting down to play. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, all right. All right, I get it with Ingrid. I'll talk about it obviously a little later, but I get it. Oh, I forgot about David. Yeah, she told you, Luke. Mm. Oh! So, okay. She didn't lose in the end. Okay, pause again. Sorry, this is the most I've ever paused in a show like in this show. I'm at 1935. I just got what that kid said. I just want to hear it again. All right, so I'm at 20 seconds back. I'm at 1915. Counting down to play. 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, pause. 1927. Wow. Okay, that answers some of the questions I was having about how they handle children and when they're supposed to grow up, technically. They charge for that shit? So the update is going to get him bigger, but is that something the mom paid for? Or it's just like part of the update? And second, now we know even if he gets bigger, like in terms of maybe looking like he's 20 or something, he'll still have the mindset of a 10-year-old because he doesn't want to pay for the maturity. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Going back to play. 3, 2, 1, play. That looks like fun. I love the outfit though. And to think there was a time. That's what they did. Yeah, having that is pretty handy. So how are they going to ensure that everyone's really asleep though? Like, is it going to show up on a computer program that they're like, How do they make sure of that? Oh, okay. I'm getting my question answered right now. So if she doesn't shut him down, will anybody know? That's what I want to know. Can she get away with doing? And then she'll wake him back up. This guy's living large. So the AI checks, and then yeah, that's not fair to him. Okay, now I don't feel sorry for him anymore. She shouldn't have used them like that, though. She could have found a different way to. Better she get a stranger to, pay him $50 to play her date or something. Mm-hmm. Lucy's drunk. All right, so I'm gonna make a quick prediction that Nathan's memories are gonna come flooding back to him, and then they're gonna be like, cut, it's the end until episode 10. This update better be good. Really? Oh my god. I think they got that. Huh. At least that came in handy. Pigs in a blanket, stuck in the door. Oh no. So, why didn't she use her little thingy to wake him up? I guess she'd get caught. Hmm. All right. I'm nervous. But I know they're gonna cut it, and then it's like episode 10. I know it. Kissy kissy. You might as well. That's actually a really nice shot in general. The colors and everything and the update on its way. Oh. So technically they can't be seen? Okay. This actor's having so much fun. Lucky guy. I hope it works. But I know something's gonna go wrong. Oh. There is an upload file currently in use. Do you wish to restore memories and force sleep? Yes! Press OK! But then she'll get caught. Oh no. Oh man, I knew it. All right, she's gonna do it. Hey man, if it's meant to be, he'll find you again, right? That's the love story. Yeah. Her favorite movie, 50 First Dates. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's coming back in the circle now, back to that that was an Easter egg. Ah. Okay, we're done. Ha! All right. I'm starting to put the puzzles together. All right, review coming up. All right, so this episode, it helped me kind of bridge some gaps, thankfully. Now, I am confused, but I'm going to try my best right now to kind of break it down coherently as best as I can. And of course, I'm counting on you, my upload expert or perhaps upload viewer alongside me to, fill out the gaps as much as possible that I'm just not catching on to. All right, so in terms of anything I didn't like, right, we're going to start with that stuff and then move on to any confusion, which is a lot of them. And then, of course, my 3, at least minimum, takeaways from the episode. End off on a positive note. Okay, so in terms of anything I didn't like at all, we'll start with, now, Alicia-Luke situation. I've said it before in previous reactions. Those are 2 characters that I just kind of dismissed anymore. I don't care for them because I don't like the way they're portrayed. However, in the last episode 8, Alicia had a redeeming moment. And now, episode 9, Luke kind of had a redeeming moment. The fact that he was willing to go out of his way to try to really, sincerely it seems, genuinely help Nathan out. Then they brought back that nonsense between him and Alicia. Now, I guess nonsense at this point is too strong of a criticism. I would say it was, I guess what bugs me with it is I think I'm interpreting an underlying message of why Alicia is the way she is with Luke based on a judgment of Luke that they won't overtly say in the show. And I don't feel safe saying it on YouTube. So I think that's where my underlying agitation comes from with the way they portray the relationship with them on the show. But aside from that, in context with the actual episode, she was trying to get him to go and find the Easter egg. And I think I interpreted it this way, and let me know if I'm wrong, but really she was trying to get him to find the egg so that the money that she saw that he was going to help give Nathan would go to Nathan, right? And not to someone rich like Mr. Choke, who's absolutely hilarious, but I'll get to him. So that's what I interpreted, right? So that's her being a decent friend for Nora's sake. Unless I misread that wrong. So for now, until further notice, that's what I interpreted. But then they brought in Luke all of a sudden being so clueless to not understand her or to not pick up on the obvious clue. The obvious clue, especially while he was right there. But that's because his perception of her is so negative that anything coming out of her mouth, he does not take seriously. He can't stand her, yada, yada, yada. And then that's where, like I said, what I think the show's trying to tell me as a message with Luke. Anyway. So, I didn't like that. I'll just leave it at that. I didn't like it. So, next thing I didn't like is I didn't like where I think they're bringing Ingrid. Okay. So, from what I gather in this episode, Ingrid went out of her way to try to save Nathan, protect Nathan, because she found out her father is in cahoots with the people or whatever organization or whatever that is involved in clamping down on Nathan's idea and getting him murdered and all that stuff. So she did the best she could to protect him because she believes she loves him in her own way. So for those of you that gave me a really wonderful explanation as to how to try to understand Ingrid's background and how she is trying and how she does care for Nathan in her own way, okay, I acknowledge, I see it here in this episode, but I still think so much of it was so negative for such a large portion of this first season. It's almost like, okay, well, now I'm at episode 9, and this is just the first glimpse you're giving me that she's somewhat of a decent human being. Even the scene where she tells Nathan, oh, where's this sudden dignity coming from? I was like, what? And it took everything in me not to start ranting, because anyway. I guess what I'm trying to express is, I kind of feel it's a little too late in the season to suddenly be like, okay, don't hate Ingrid that much. She saved Nathan. She's good. She just has a lot of problems, obviously. But it's still not making me want to connect with her if we're still at this point of her personality. I guess I'll have to wait till episode 10 to really make up my mind with that. And the third thing I really just didn't like too much, although I understand why they went about it, but I popped in an idea what they should have done instead. I didn't like Nora, using poor Byron the way she did and leading him on, making out with him, showcasing him around work, lying to Lucy. And I know that was a last minute desperate thing for her to do, but I guess I'm quite sensitive to people manipulating others to get something else, and they almost don't even care of what the kind of emotional damage they can do to someone. And I like how they addressed it to the point that her deception led him to now be convinced they're meant to be. And so I lost a little sympathy for him when he was going a little overboard with that obsessiveness, but at the same time, she contributed to it. So, they're both, she's more guilty than Byron is at this point. I mean, on one end, I get it. Nora's not perfect. And that's, I feel, what they're trying to show. She is the best female character, in my opinion, right now on the show. Well, that's portrayed in a relatable sense, but they're also showing her flaws. And so, with that flaw comes the behavior that she did with Byron that I just didn't really like, She could have gone about it a different way. I was saying, find someone, pay a guy $50 to come pretend to be your date. I'm sure she could have found that. I know at the last minute, nobody's going to be thinking that shit. They would probably think of a circumstance like this, especially if it's a guy you've been kind of somewhat hooking up with here and there. I get it. I just didn't like it, though. Okay, let's now touch on some positive aspects of this episode, because there's quite a number of them that I do want to talk about. And the first one being is I love this whole concept of Lakeview being updated. I thought that was really neat. It's such a reflection of today's society right now where, I have an Apple phone and you get the updates you have to install, or the updates on your Windows, or pretty much any type of computer software nowadays has an update, right? And I like the fact that we get to see what that means for this world, this digital world of Lakeview, and what it's possibly now going to mean for Nathan. That's going to be interesting to see. And the second thing that I enjoyed, even though I have my gripes with the outcome, but I still enjoyed finally seeing it, is getting now a little bit of what was going on with Jamie. Although I think Nathan's a fool to completely, to forgive him in that sense, but then again, Nathan has a big heart. it was still nice to finally get at least some answers. May not be answers I wanted to hear, but at least it was still answers. So question begs, how furthermore was Jamie involved with Nathan's murder? I guess we'll find out. And just in case I may have missed it, let me know in the comments, because I don't think I'm going to go back and check. Did Ingrid say she slept with him before Nathan died or after? Or she didn't sleep with him, actually. She just had an intimate moment, right? So correct me, because that kind of matters to me. Because if they were intimate with each other before Nathan died, I can understand the guilt Jamie had, but I still don't think you could be that guilty for someone you've known for so long who's your best friend that you don't even show up at their funeral. I can't let that go. No. And the last takeaway from this episode that I will definitely put as a positive and as a nice memory of this particular episode, and that is Nathan and Nora connecting, like really genuinely connecting. They didn't make it too corny. It had a little bit of sprinkle of corniness, but corniness that was tolerable for this type of show, for this genre and this tone. I really was okay with it. And I did like the little gift he made her. I thought it was really sweet, very romantic, very much of a Nathan personality, as been shown for the last, 9 episodes thus far. And I love the fact that Nora made the decision to allow him to get his memories, be a complete Nathan, and perhaps within herself take a leap of faith that something will work out for her to reconnect with him again, which of course leads back to the first episode where she was watching 50 First Dates. And I don't want to give away a spoiler about that movie just in case you haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to apply the situation in 50 First Dates to this show, which I think is kind of cool for this season, but I just hope it's not going to be a repetitive thing throughout the rest of the whole thing. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, because you haven't seen 50 First Dates, okay, spoiler ahead. You're going to have to skip over at some point, because I'll put a timestamp indicating spoiler moment for this movie, because I do want to talk about it. All right, so spoiler ahead for 50 First Dates, starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Okay, here we go. So, in that movie, 50 First Dates, Drew Barrymore plays a character that has a terrible short-term memory, okay? So basically, Adam tries to woo her, and they have a romantic moment, blah, 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 all that good stuff, but then she forgets it. And he continuously spends the rest of his life with her, getting her to fall back in love with him over and over again after every memory wipe, okay? And so if they're going to do this as part of the love story between Nora and Nathan, it's interesting for the first go around, but then I'm wondering, is it going to be something they may do in subsequent seasons if more than 2 seasons come along? For instance, at the end of this season, his memory gets wiped. She spends season 2 wooing him in a sense, trying to get him to fall back in love with her. And then at the end of season 2, another update comes along, memory gets wiped, and it's the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? I guess if we ever cross that bridge, I'll find out how I feel by that point, if I'm still watching this show. Let me know in the comments, though, if that's something you could see them doing, or am I just really guessing that too far-fetched? Overall, let me just quickly give you my, crazy theories of what likely is going to happen in episode 10. So what I think will happen for sure, because it seems like that's where they're going, is that Nathan's going to get all his memories. He's probably going to remember some encounter or some interaction that leads him to connect the dots to Ingrid's father, because he was involved in it. Now, did Jamie have anything to do with it? I don't think so. I don't think willingly. I think Jamie definitely made some kind of deal behind Nathan's back, but he likely didn't know the consequences of that deal that will lead to Jamie dying. I'm just gonna have faith on that, because just thinking back on the interaction he had with Nathan and the way he swore up and down that he didn't kill him, I believed him. I really did believe him in that moment. I think if he really had something to do with it, he would have never picked up the phone no matter how bad the situation looked. If you're that kind of person that would murder your best friend, why bother pick up the phone after ignoring him for so long, right? That's my reasoning on it anyway. Now, as for Ingrid, I think despite the fact that Nathan broke up with her, she likely will go out of her way to still try to help Nathan, try to save the situation. As her father said, gloves are off, so the father's probably going to go out of his way to still maybe delete Nathan. I don't know. He's going to do something because it's obvious his memories are going to come back, right? Question is, what is he going to do? How is he going to do it? How's it going to affect Nathan? How is it going to affect Nora? And all that stuff. I think I'll stop there with my theories and just allow episode 10 to come and surprise me, hopefully delightfully. So for now, there you have it. That is my reaction and review of episode 9. If you enjoyed this video, you know how to show it. Just follow the prompt you see right over here. I know you see it. I know you see it. Follow it, follow it, follow it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Asha, and until episode 10, the finale episode of season 1 of Upload, peace out. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.